Welcome back, everyone, to the Cancel for Maintenance podcast. If this is your first time joining us, we talk about the behind-the-scenes look into the gritty, non-glamorous life of aviation maintenance. We share some laughs, impart some wisdom, all in hopes of giving you that split-second relief to help you prevent a mishap. I am your co-host, Six.
I'm MVP.
And our third host, Shoreline, is silently in the back, twisting knobs, pushing buttons, making sure our audio is good to go and our faces stay fit for radio. Today is kind of like a gratification or gratitude and thank you / bonus episode where we pretty much reach out to you we've been doing this for close to 3 years now.
I think we're at the point of 3 years if we're counting when we started the conversation about doing the podcast.
That's true.
I think we're at the 3-year mark.
That is true. That is very true. And we've said it in various episodes and various bonuses, but for a lot of you, if this is your first time joining us, like it's just been such a ride from the point of concept to where we are now. We never would have even imagined getting this far. And we say that with the utmost humility because when we started having this conversation, we were almost self-doubting ourselves to the point of like inaction. And by that, I mean is like, well, who the hell are we to put out stuff? Like, who are we to talk about the things we do and to talk and to put it out there for the masses to judge us? And it was to the point where we kind of just said, fuck it, and let's do it anyway. Right. Like, let's just stop talking about it. Let's just be about it. And if we get our egos hurt, we get our faces slapped at least we tried, right? And it's out there for the people who actually have an ear for this. And in the 3 years that we've done it, I think we've had like possibly the best feedback of all time, especially for a bunch of guys who, when we initially started, we just felt like we weren't keen enough or intelligent enough to do something like this.
Yeah, well, yeah. Who wants to listen to our thoughts, views, and opinions on the industry, right? We're just a couple of slack jaws.
Yes, right. And the shows that are in existence when we first started, it was a lot of individuals who had like 50 to 100 plus years of combined aviation experience, and at the time, MVP and myself had maybe 40 max. So it was like, how do we fit in versus guys who've been doing this for 80 to 100 plus years combined? And they were talking about subjects that were extremely technical, that went very into the weeds, and they had a lot of like sources that were pretty much like top level officials. So like they would have like the ears of the FAA, they have the ears of EASA, or whoever the quality assurance standards officiating group. You know, stuff like that. Like they've had them all in their pocket. They had them all by the ear, and they were pretty much contributing to their success. So, and we just pretty much did this with $20 Amazon mics in our closet, pretty much.
That's factual. I think I still have that mic somewhere. I think I just found it the other day.
Same here.
Or no, we gave those up, didn't we?
I think so. I kind of remember, to be honest. I almost want to frame that thing because like this is like how sad we were when we started. It was very budget friendly, let's call it that. We were extremely budget friendly, and the reason, and it wasn't because we were poor, it was just because like we didn't know what the hell to do, and we didn't know exactly what we needed. We just thought, whatever, computer, microphone, roll it.
Right. Well, it was one of those like, well, you know, do we invest $1,000 in equipment, and then what if we get one listener the whole time? Like, that doesn't seem like the reward was worth the payout, but you know, it ended up being so.
Yep, it ended up being so, and I'm so glad that we did it. And at the very least, man, like we've said it before, this is like our free therapy. this is
our weekly therapy session. That's what I call it.
Yes, sir. And we were fortunate enough to get all sorts of guests that really expanded our mindset with a lot of the stuff we do. A lot of recent big ones were like dietitians and therapists and like other experts in the field that are trying to pave the way for the future of aviation. And it was just such an experience, like having those kind of guests on and just really like reframing our mindset of things. And we've learned a lot for ourselves, like how the trades work, how they're coded, and how payouts are made, and all this and that. And we've also matured ourselves because at the time, in the time frame that this show started, a lot of animosity was being doled out. A lot of frustration was everywhere. A lot of people were losing their jobs. The shortages that we were experiencing got extremely aggravated throughout the time we had this show. So it was a very huge learning curve for everybody. And the feedback we got on that was very promising. It was very uplifting for us. Like a lot of people said they resonated with what we were talking about. They felt that they could connect with what we talking about. And some individuals who've never even been in aviation before started talking the way we talk, or started having interests in aviation. And that was like the biggest win, I feel, because when we started the show, we had the mindset of talking to someone who knew next to nothing about aviation, or at least didn't fully understand what was going on. But it was also in such a way where people who are actively in it can relate, like some of our previous episodes where we talk about management pushing you to do things that you don't want to, or like say on-time performances drive your actions and end up doing some shady shit. So in the going on 3 years that we've done it, we've been fortunate enough to grow as a show, to be broadcast in all different countries, and some of them we actually made the top charts in of. We never would have seen that coming. We've met
people from all over the world too. Really awesome people.
Yes,
that have come on, been guests, reached out through the socials.
Yes,
pretty awesome.
It is very, and a lot of organizations too have developed, and they've reached out to us and stuff too. Like, hey, we have this nonprofit going, or we have this initiative going. Things of that nature. Like, it was just an awesome ride. And bragging a little bit, some of the reach that we've had has been amazing. Like, we never would have thought we've been reaching thousands, millions. We never thought we'd be being listened to in countries that don't even speak English, which is almost predominantly what we've been broadcasting in. And we've been consistently having awards for our and other accolades for our show, like #1 aviation in this server, or all sorts of awards in the Veteran Podcast Awards. It's been freaking amazing. And then this year, which by the time this episode comes out, we're going to be contestants in the People's Choice Podcast Awards. And this one I feel is going to be a real test of where we stand, because this one we're going to be worldwide, and there's going to be thousands, probably millions of shows that are going to be a part of this. And this is a little different than how other award shows, or a lot of awards that we've participated in, because most of the ones we participated in, it's just kind of like sign up and roll it, and then we'll kind of judge you from there. Whereas this one is kind of like American Idol almost. Like, you got to try out to even be a part of the show. And how this People's Choice Podcast Awards work, if I'm reading the rules or if I'm interpreting the rules correctly, is come July, or the month that this episode's in, you as the listener can nominate our show into a particular category, or any or all categories for that matter. And then the awards staff will put together a voting board consisting of different elements, like other podcasters, like news officials, business officials, and stuff like that. And they will look at the slates that these shows have been nominated on, and they'll factor in how many times they've been nominated by listeners. And then they'll assign them to a slate. Like, okay, these shows are relevant enough, they've been nominated by enough listeners, we're going to put them into a slate. And then once all the slates have been identified, then they will vote on those shows within that slate. And then they'll say, okay, this show wins Spirit of the Podcast Awards. This show wins best overall. This show wins best aviation, best leisure, best whatever. And actually, that's kind of daunting, you know. But the fact that we're even here to even compete in that is a huge freaking deal. And even if we don't place or even get assigned to a slate, it means a huge deal that we've actually are at this point where we feel relevant enough to be a part of this show or be a part of those awards. So,
or where somebody finds us relevant enough.
Yes.
To be part of the shows, you know?
Most definitely. Most definitely. And yet even just like looking back and reading the accolades that we've received, it's still an outer body of experience to me that we've even made it that far. Like being number one in a non-English speaking country, or being number two in a very high traffic aviation country, or even just showing up on a chart where we're the only aircraft maintenance podcast on that list. That's a huge win, not just for us, but for every single aircraft maintenance specialist out there. Like your feedback and your listenership has propelled us to the point where aviation maintenance has a voice amongst a non-aviation maintenance list, if that makes any sort of sense.
Yeah, it does. You guys' support of us has pushed us to realms that we wouldn't otherwise be in, I think. Like you said, with we're aviation maintenance based, but we're being projected in areas of non-aviation maintenance related.
Yeah.
You know?
And we get it. Like a lot of people like to hear what pilots have to say, or a lot of people like to hear what the air crew or high speed people have to say. It's nary a time where you hear what the blue collar person has to say. And usually the individuals that do listen to us, it's like it's on their mind, but they rarely speak up about it. So it's kind of like we're being that microphone for them, if that makes any sort of sense. I feel that's the biggest win. Is because like individuals feel the comfortability to talk to us about issues, and then we can talk about it. We can talk about it in a more sanitized version that kind of encompasses all areas of aircraft maintenance, not just that one particular field. So maybe like one side is not feeling 100% of what this other corner is, but it's relatable to the point where like, you know what, maybe that's something that we ought to hash out and visit. So for all of you out there, if this is your first time or if this is your 1000th time, thank you all for tuning into us. Thank you for your feedback, and just thank you for helping us continue to make a great time out of all this. And so one of our other projects that we have going about is we're a bunch of nerds. We love playing video games. And one of the games that we've thought about, or one of the projects we thought about, is like having some kind of D&D, a slice of life D&D session online with some of our Discord people. It's going to be kind of like what if D&D was aircraft maintenance? Like instead of barbarians, they're line mechanics, or instead of wizards, they're avionics technicians, and so forth and so forth. We're hashing this out with our Patreons right now, and hopefully we can get that episode 0 or that session 0 going soon, and just kind of see how far our role playing our abilities go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Just like I don't really know how it's going to play out. I have an idea in my head, but I think it'd be really fun just kind of figuring it out on the fly too with everybody. I think that's where a lot of the laughs are going to come from as we go along and figure out rules and modify rules to fit the narrative of the game we're trying to do, you know?
Yep. And then that's
the long-term goal of mine. I was talking to Six about this. I think it'd be so fun. Is like, what if you did a virtual reality aviation maintenance? So like everybody's gonna say, "Oh my god!" So even in my free time when I'm playing a virtual game, I gotta fix a plane. Well, sort of, I guess, but it'd be kind of fun to like get in there with your friends, be in a virtual hangar, fixing virtual things. But you could also have fun with it, like doing like, "Oh yeah, definitely changed your landing gear," and you watch the little animated plane take off and shoot sparks out, or just, I don't know. I think it'd be a lot of fun to just goof around in a virtual realm with a whole bunch of maintainers. And really the biggest part of that for me, or the most fun part of that for me, is going to be the banter amongst everybody as they're doing whatever task within the game. Think of like Among Us, where they're doing tasks, but like virtual reality in an aviation maintenance shop, and just the shit talking is going to be supreme. Oh my gosh, it's going to be the best.
Absolutely. And that's kind of like the pilot goal we're trying to go with, is just kind of like with the banter and the role playing and just being just flat out hooligans, like in a controlled environment where it doesn't actually destroy anything.
There's no repercussions. Nobody's career is at stake. Nobody's lives are at stake. There's no damage to a real asset. I think it'd just be fun. And, think about your day-to-day shenanigans and banter that you have in your own shop. Now get that on a global scale where we're all working with people we're in this VR room with people from all over the world. I just think it's going to be a riot. But again, that's a long way down the road, far-fetched. If anybody knows of any good software developers that would like to undertake that project, or if any of you are a software developer, hit us up. I think that would be hysterical.
That would be freaking fantastic. Right? That would be fantastic. Please, by all means, like let us know. Even if it's like just like some college project, like, I just want to do animated stick figures. I'm pretty sure we got the crude humor to make some stick figures funny.
I think so. I think we could make that happen.
I kind of like choked on my own laugh on that one. Like, but again, like say with that air quote tabletop project we're doing, it's gonna sort of play out like Warhammer or D&D, but again, it's gonna be like slice of life, like actual maintenance shit, and it's gonna encompass what we were talking about with the bantering and the role playing. It's all still piloting, but we're gonna try it out with our patrons. So if you want to try to experiment this with us, or you want to try to be the game master, the air quote game master on that one, please hit us up on Patreon and join our Discord. We can fit you right in. And then likewise with our comics, the goal with our comics is to somehow put this into a book where we have like all the shots that we've been putting out in both on social media and on the Tapas app that we've had. We've had like a good chunk of issues that are just about ready to go. And again, like we never would have dreamed of making comics about aircraft maintenance. And the sad part is there really isn't one. So it's kind of nice, like having that extra outlet for people to see and read and relate to and whatnot. And some of the comments we've heard, but just from two of them, which we put on Instagram, is freaking hilarious. Like with the blue juice and getting doused in Skydroll and having stuff drop into your ears, and like just freaking hilarious. And that's the kind of stuff we're about. Like we like to hear other people's stories that are relatable to what we talked about, and also so we can actually relate ourselves to what their situations are, and kind of like spin this in a way where it becomes funny for everybody. But we are looking to make that into a book form. We're just not sure like how many issues we want to throw into it, or if we want to branch off and have like a no kidding story with the comics, or just have that as its own standalone thing and just kind of do one shots here and there as extra. It's all up in the air, but it's all projects that we're thinking of. And we honestly could not have even be at that point to consider projects without all of you, with your listenership and your feedback. So out of everything, we thank you all so much for making this such a good time and allowing us to just be the hooligans we are and talk aircraft maintenance.
Yeah, broadcast our ridiculousness to the airwaves.
Most definitely. Any final thoughts or any addresses or anything else, Mr. MVP?
Thanks again, everybody, for your continued support. Please kick us new ideas, and we'll keep trying to come up with new ideas to make this experience for all of us a little bit more fun.
Yes. And if anything, your day is like, we're here to help your day suck less. Like I say all the time, it's my weekly therapy session. So if this is your weekly therapy session, welcome. Welcome aboard. We'll pull up a chair and we'll throw some video games on. We can just hash it out there, which we have done. Which we have done. Yeah, that's factual. All right, everybody. So again, like for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. Probably by the time this episode airs, nominations will be open. We'll throw a link into the show description of where you can visit, where you can nominate. You can nominate us for a slot if you so choose to. We kindly hope that you do. And then hopefully we hear back that we actually won something. And also, we're not sure the Veteran Podcast Awards is going to come up again this year, but if it does, stand by for that as well. All in all, we appreciate every single one of your support. And as MVP said, if you have any ideas for projects, episodes, topics, other types of ideas that we can use to engage and promote our industry, please, by all means, let us know. Hit us up on the social medias, our website, our email. The absolute best way is to hit up Patreon and join us on our Discord channel. This is the absolute best way to join us. And again, with the whole Slice of Life tabletop RPG project that we're doing, you guys will definitely be a part of that as well. So on that note, thank you all again for listening, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
We would like to take this time to thank our patrons for supporting our show and allowing us to make episodes, maintain our gear, and create merch for all of our listeners. With special thanks to Erica Lamont, Chris Hawkins, Eric Shaw, Dan Schubert, Ryan Frushauer, Kyle Keir, Mike Sherwood, Caleb Stockhill, and Jennifer Brofer. Thank you all so much for your support and patronage. If you like our show, please support us on Patreon. You'll receive awesome perks like access to our private Discord, discounts and early access to our merch, first glimpse of our comics and other projects, and so much more. You can further support us and show off your prowess as an aircraft specialist by visiting our shop at cancelformaintenance.com. If you like classy or rugged watches, visit our affiliate Rockwell Time at rockwelltime.com. Use the code CX, the number 4MX to save 10% off your total order. If you have suggestions for the show or you'd like to be a guest on the show, send us a line on our contact us section at cancelformaintenance.com, and we'll do what we can to get both your ideas and yourself on the show. Please support us on social media like Facebook at Cancel for Maintenance, Instagram at CANX for Maintenance Podcast, or Twitter at CXMX Podcast. Please check out our new comic series on the Tapas app. Like, share, subscribe, and comment on our comics. Let us know what you think. Thank you all so much for your support and listenership, and we will catch you all next time.
So it was a really fun time, guys.